Hi, and welcome to another presentation from your business tutor, learning your way, anytime, anywhere. It is absolutely vital that a business is focused on its customers. These are the people that buy the product and generate the income and profit that a business requires to grow and prosper. This is why some people have concerns with functional grouping of staff, as it is not customer focused. However, as we will find out in the second part of this series, the grouping of staff we are now going to look at, product service, is far more focused on meeting customers' needs. So what are we going to learn during this presentation? Well, first of all, we're going to find out about product service grouping of staff. And then we're going to explore the advantages and disadvantages of product service grouping of staff. So let's start with our first question, which is, what is product service grouping of staff? Product service grouping is when an organisation allocates its staff to divisions based on the products or services the business sells to its customers. For example, as can be seen in the diagram, this particular soft drinks company has 4 product divisions: cola, diet cola, orangeade and lemonade. Now, because each division is selling its own product, it means the divisions can run independently of each other. Everything required to make and sell each drink exists within each separate division. Hopefully, this has sparked a connection to something we have looked at previously, in that if each division has a huge amount of independence, then it suggests that a decentralised management structure exists across the whole organisation. Each division has a lot of decision-making power and therefore can run to an extent as its own separate business within a much larger organisation. So, now that we know what product service grouping is, let's ask, what are the advantages of product service grouping? One of the main advantages of product service grouping is that it is designed to meet the needs of customers. Each division is set up in a way that allows it to focus on the products or services being sold to its customers. This is important because when we looked at functional grouping, the focus was on each department. But here, each division is focused on providing great products and services that appeal to customers. This means each division will look outwards to find out what their customers want, so that the products they sell will have a much better chance of selling well. Of course, looking outwards by undertaking market research has an additional benefit. By identifying customers' views and how they are changing, a business will be in a far better position to react quickly to changes in the market. This is so important because if a business can alter its products ahead of its competitors, it will not only maintain its own customer base, but will attract customers from other businesses as well. This, of course, will allow it to increase sales and profits effectively, which links into another advantage, in that it is easy to identify the performance of divisions when product service grouping is used. You will remember that when we looked at functional grouping, it was very difficult to judge departmental performance. However, this is not the case with product service grouping, as by just looking at the sales and profits figures for each division, it is easy to identify how each division is doing in comparison to each other, but also from year to year. A final advantage of product service grouping is that huge amounts of expertise exist within each division. The management and staff inside each division know their product inside out. This, as you would expect, allows each division to operate very efficiently, as decisions on how to move the division forward are not only made quickly, but are made by people who are experienced and informed. More than that, however, because everyone in each division is focused on the products they sell, it helps to create strong culture. Okay, now we've covered the advantages, let's now move on and look at the disadvantages of product-service grouping. One of the main problems of product-service grouping stems from the independence each division has. As we know from earlier, each division within the organisation operates to a large extent as its own separate entity within the larger organisation. Although this makes each division self-reliant and allows it to react to change quickly, it also creates some significant cost issues. This is because as each division will be carrying out similar activities, it creates huge duplication problems. There will be staff in different divisions carrying out very similar tasks and work. Put this all together and you could see that an organisation that uses product-service grouping will encounter very high staffing costs and will miss out on possible cost savings such as bulk buying. Another problem with product-service grouping also stems from the independence that each division has, and that is divisional rivalry can very quickly build up. This can occur because of two reasons. First, divisions are often competing against each other for the same customers. For example, there are many customers who like cola, orangeade and lemonade, and hence each division will be trying to convince those same customers to buy their product. And secondly, because it is so easy to judge divisional performance in terms of sales and profits, it makes each division super competitive to be the best, especially as they are fighting for the same customers. This issue, if not addressed, can cause problems around lack of cooperation across the organisation, in so much that divisions will be unwilling to share resources, knowledge and expertise if they feel it will benefit other divisions at their expense. Worse than that though, if this problem builds up over time, it begins to chip away at the stability of the organisation's corporate culture and therefore its identity. So what did we learn in today's presentation? Well, first of all, we found out about product-service grouping of staff. And then we went on to find out about the advantages and disadvantages of product-service grouping of staff. It is clear that product-service grouping of staff solves the issue around functional grouping's lack of customer focus. However, at the same time, it creates other problems relating to duplication and rising costs. This clearly muddies the picture somewhat, but as we did when we looked at management structures, it is vital that we understand the context in which we are looking at each of these groupings of staff, and that is one which is very theoretical in nature. In reality, managers are not just going to implement a particular grouping of staff in the knowledge it has major flaws. They will, as you would fully expect, take measures to at least reduce, if not eliminate, the weaknesses of the grouping of staff chosen. For example, when Steve Jobs was in charge of Apple, only the board of directors had full knowledge of how each division in the organisation was performing. Individual divisions were not given this information in the hope it would avoid divisional rivalry. This is because Steve Jobs knew that to stay ahead of competitors, he needed the different product divisions within Apple, iPhone, iPad and iMac, to share knowledge, resources and research and development. As such, if they didn't feel they were competing against each other in terms of sales and profits, but rather against competitors instead, they would be far more likely to cooperate. This approach used by Apple didn't just help them stay ahead of competitors, but assisted in building a strong, unified corporate culture across the whole organisation.